Hi, this is Mark, your host of Logan Lessons. Today's lesson is about how to tune your guitar, something you should do every single time that you pick up your guitar. I'm going to show you 3 different methods of tuning your guitar, and so let's jump right in. So this is the head of the guitar, and these are the tuning pegs. And to tune a guitar, we pluck the string, and if we turn the tuning pegs, you'll hear it's either loosening or tightening the string. And you're hearing the pitch go down. If we go the other way, it's tightening the string, and the pitch is going up. So we need to use these tuning pegs to change the pitch of the note so that we're right on the note that we want to be at. So our bottom note is an E. Our second from the bottom is a B string. Our third from the bottom is a G string. Fourth from the bottom is a D string. Our fifth from the bottom is an A string. And finally, our very top string, or lowest note, will be an E. So our top string is an E, and our lowest string is an E. Okay, let's get started tuning. The first way is with a digital tuner. Probably the best and most accurate way to tune your guitar. It's a little bit of an investment, but I would recommend you get one. Focusing on just the head of the guitar here, this is basically where we're going to tune the guitar. With an electronic tuner, when we hit a note, it's going to show you graphically whether right in the middle is going to be perfectly in pitch, perfectly in tune to that note. If it's in the blue here on this tuner, it's flat. If it's in the red, it's sharp. And most tuners are like that. It'll show you either with a needle or somehow graphically if you're sharp or flat. So when we pluck the note, it shows us in the blue. So I'm going to turn my knob down here, sharpen the note, raise the pitch until I get, in this tuner, I get 3 bars across the middle. Sometimes some tuners will turn green, and there, that's in tune. So I'm moving to the next note, which is a B. The next note up from the bottom is a B. I'm a little bit flat, so I'm going to sharpen the note, turn the tuning peg to sharpen it, and I got all 3 across. We'll go to our third string, which is a G. G's pretty close, just a little bit flat. Sometimes it's better to let it ring out instead of plucking it real quick. Each tuner has its own little personality. So this one's very sharp. My D is sharp, so I'm going to turn it the opposite way, lower the pitch. Now I got my 3 bars across, pretty close there. And then we'll go to our A, which is our 5th string. Again, we're a little sharp on the A, so I'm going to lower the pitch. These units cost anywhere from $15 to $30. I've seen them on Guitar Center. You can order online on Guitar Center. Really, any shop should carry them. Amazon.com or any music store would have them. Support your local music store. Why not? Want to keep them in business. All right, so we're almost there. So I'm lowering the note here, and once we have all 5 strings in tune, then we go ahead and play a chord, play a D here, and we're in tune. The second method is to tune by ear. I find this way to be much less accurate and just more time consuming, but if you don't have a guitar tuner, electronic guitar tuner, this is kind of the way that you have to do it. I like to use a computer website. If you search or Google online tuners. This is an example of an online guitar tuner. This is Geeson.com. I put the link below. And this is how you tune by ear. You'll see the representations of all 6 strings. And as we pluck a string, then we would by ear try to match the pitch of that string on our guitar. So using that online guitar tuner, I'm going to click on each string and I'm going to try to match the note. Tightening the note to try to match that pitch. And once I feel like I got that pitch pretty close, I'm going to go move on to the next string. I'm going to do that with all 6 strings until all 6 strings are closely matched to the pitch that I'm hearing on the online guitar tuner. Okay, I've done this with all 6 strings now. So the last thing I want to do when I tune by ear is I want to play a chord. So I'm going to play an E chord. And I want to listen. Does that sound like it's in tune? Usually I want to go string by string with a chord. I feel like my high E string is a little flat. I feel like that G string is maybe a little flat. I feel like that low E is a little flat. The G string is still not right. And then I try another chord. Sounds decent in the E, I want to try it in the D chord. D sounds nice, maybe a C chord. B sounds a little off. As you can see, tuning by ear is much less reliable than tuning with a digital tuner. You tend to have to go through each note and figure out which one isn't quite right. And then is it too high, is it too low? It's a little more of a chore to tune by ear. Okay, the third method is to tune by ear, but if you don't have a reference point, you don't have an online tuner, you don't have your digital tuner, maybe you pull your guitar out at a campfire and you just want to make sure it's in tune to itself. To use this method, there's just a little bit of understanding that needs to happen, and that is the understanding that if you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th fret, most guitars have a little dot in the 5th fret, mine doesn't happen to have one, but if you go up to the 5th fret, it should match the note above it. This is true for all the notes except for the B string. For some reason, in standard tuning, you only go up 4 frets on the string above it, the G string. And these notes should match. Okay, my guitar is not in tune, so they don't match, but normally they will match. When it's in tune, they'll match. So I always like, if the way that I do it, it just seems to work better, is I assume that if I don't have anything to tune it to, I assume my G's in tune. That is the 3rd string from the bottom, the string right here. So I'm going to tune my B string to it. So remember, our B, we only go up 4. So on the G string, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now this is where it gets tricky, and it takes a little bit of a practiced ear. You have to listen to the 2nd note. This is our 1st note, and listen to the 2nd note. And decide, is that higher, is that sharp or flat compared to the 1st note? And it's actually a little bit flat, so I'm going to tighten up and try it again. I'm on the 4th string of the G, playing the B before it. I'm still a little flat. I'm getting pretty close to them being in tune. That sounds pretty close to me. So then I now assume that the G and the B are in tune to each other. So now I want to do the E, the very bottom string. So our E takes the 5th fret. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to play. We're a little flat on the E, so I'm going to raise the pitch. I want them to match exactly. Okay, so now our bottom 3 are in tune. Now I'm going to start tuning back. I'm going to start tuning towards the top. So our G we're going to assume, which is our 3rd string, I'm going to tune. I'm going to go up 5 on the string above it. So I'm going to play the G, which I assume is in tune, and I want the string above it, D, to match. So what I'm doing there, I'm letting both strings ring out, and I'm just turning the tuning key while it plays out. And you can hear if the note's going in the right direction, if they're getting closer or further away. And that's getting pretty close, so now I assume my bottom 4 in tune. I'm going to count up 5 frets, and I'm on the A string, which is our 5th from the top. I'm playing our D. I'm turning it to get it to be the same note, and then the same thing on 5th fret on my E string. Pretty close already. Now, like I said, this is the least accurate method when you're tuning by ear with no reference. And we're pretty close to being in tune. I like to play a couple of chords because sometimes it'll sound good in D. When you go to an E, it maybe doesn't sound right. Like I think our G is not quite in tune. That's definitely not in tune. So that bottom E note was a little out of tune. That's pretty close. There you have it. Hopefully by following one of those 3 methods, you will have a tuned guitar.